happened to your shoe? Huh?
Not saying all of Eli and his fault. You can't put yourself in a position that many interceptors expect your defense to go out there and continuously hold the other team's offense because time of possession higher. You got to use the defense more the rest of that. Like I said, 49%.
What I tell you about the Bears?
You have to sit for your episode. Alexander?
Quick tutorial on how to enjoy free life.
Look. You want this? Yeah. Here you go. Okay. Oh. Here you go. You ready?
Where do you drive? Now lease the 2015 Mazda 3 EDSP for $159 a month for 39 months.
Hi, I'm Patricia with ARP ID.
Cobb, first down, Brooks, Kerry Williams made the stop for the 21st ranked defense in the NFL. I like Casey Matthews because his play is in the same. We'll talk about play certainly when Green Bay's on defense.
Alexander, you want some water? Alexander.
Just getting away, Rodgers.
Come here. Junior, Awa? Look. Awa? Awa? Awa?
You see the speed that he has that enables him to get in behind Fletcher. He's got very deceiving speed. He's a long strider. He makes up a lot of ground in a hurry. But what a throw by Aaron Rodgers, putting it out there just perfectly for Jordy Nelson. Trying to do it 5 straight. A touchdown on their first possession. On second and goal. Pass is incomplete for Nelson. Those back shoulder throws. Bradley Fletcher in coverage is 3rd and goal. The Philadelphia Eagles, they like to bring a lot of pressure.
Are you all done? Are you all done?
Pick it up pretty well, but it forces Aaron Rodgers to get the ball out of his hands quickly. Just a little off the mark.
Watch free live TV on your own device. Book your remote care now at StockPlus.com.
uno de nuez regular size o large size?
Large.
Large. ¿Le ponemos lechera o no lechera?
Sí.
¿Sí? ¿Con lechera? Uno de nuez large con lechera, por favor.
Gracias. One take it out. I don't think it's good. Gracias.
Venga, buenas tardes.
Igualmente. Come on, Pepe. Come on. Come on. Amabel Robles, and my stimulation experience for this project was having a physical disability. It was very challenging because there are many changes that would have to take place in order to accommodate my needs, especially in my home. I have a few key points here that really stood out during this activity. And it was very difficult to move around my own home because there wasn't enough space. I couldn't get through the door frames to the restroom. It was very difficult going from the living room to the kitchen. Just having to push the wheelchair up. The dividing space between the living room and kitchen was difficult. Not bumping into the stove or into the dining table, into the refrigerator was also a challenge. Another thing that was challenging was being able to do the dishes. The sink was too high and I couldn't reach for many other things. It was difficult caring for my 1-year-old. He has many needs, and now that he's walking, I have to literally be after him every second that he's around me. In order to feed him, I need to pick him up, put him in his high chair, and that was a challenge in itself. What else? Not to mention cleaning up after his toys, and being able to change a diaper would have been impossible. A ramp would be definitely needed in my front steps to be able to access my own home, and that was a challenge because I couldn't walk. My husband had to carry me up the steps. Another challenge that really stood out was just interacting with other people. It was intimidating going out because I can feel people staring down at me. When I had to cross the street in order to go to the snack bar or restaurant where I ordered a few snacks, I noticed how people would stop their cars for me to cross, but they were actually staring at me, and I just felt that gaze. When ordering at the restaurant, there was no eye level contact with the individual across from the counter. He had to look down at me in order to take my order, and that in itself for me was intimidating. It was difficult to cross the street. It was very difficult to have accessibility to the sidewalk in order to walk next to my family. I felt like I was chasing after them. The sidewalk was so small that my husband and my son were walking in front of me, and I had to be pushing myself in order to catch up to them. Something that didn't cross my mind that having this physical disability will need is maybe wearing gloves for your hands. After being in the wheelchair for 5 minutes, I noticed how my hands started getting red, and I'm sure that if I would have been on it longer than an hour, I would have probably gotten blisters. And like I've mentioned before, my hands were exhausted in less than like half an hour of just simulating this experience. So having a physical disability is definitely something challenging, and it opened my eyes to many things that now I realize that people who have conditions like these experience.